On today's video, we deal with some overgrown feet on this beautiful southwest Scottish farm, which is home to these gorgeous black Aberdeen Angus cows, who are in need of a little pedicure. We also deal with this big bull's feet, which are suffering from some serious cracking issues. This is the Hoof GP.
And I won't let it rush when I see you dance, and the moment comes when I fall and time goes slow. I fall into you.
This is the stunningly beautiful southwest Scottish coastline. We were down near the Mull of Galloway, at the very tip of the Scottish mainland, trimming some beautiful cows just outside the village of Dromore. You join us as we travel north along this beautifully rugged coastal road. In many ways, the sea is like working in agriculture here in southwest Scotland. It's stunningly beautiful, absolutely awesome. We are surrounded by it, and it's a constant in our lives. But it's completely at the mercy of Mother Nature. The land here is what grows the fodder or the feed for the cows that we trim and that we work with every day, and it is completely at the mercy of Mother Nature.
Hold on a bit more, 'cause I know you only see the rain, not the rainbow. Deep down, I know you're strong. Give them hell, baby, prove them wrong. Just hold on a bit more, 'cause I know you only see the rain, not the rainbow. I know you'll get up.
We do have 3 passengers today. There's Kev boy. Louder, Kevin.
Alright.
There's Craigie boy. I'll try and get him to stop doing that.
Awesome.
And there's Kirsty the cow. And yes, for the eagle-eyed amongst you and the ones with the good memories, she is named after my big sister, and she does have an orange block in her foot. It was a white line problem. It's a long story. Anyway, let's get to the farm and see what's waiting for us there.
If you wanna go out, we can go out. We can hide away just for one night. But if you wanna cry, just let it out. I'm by your side now. Just hold on a bit more, 'cause I know you only see the rain, not the rainbow. Deep down, I know you're strong. Give them hell, baby, prove them wrong. Just hold on a bit more, 'cause I know you only see the rain, not the rainbow. I know you'll get up again. Better stand up tall, I know you can be brave.
This is Grennan Farm. It lies a few miles east of the small village of Glenluce, where I used to live, up in the moorland, away from civilization, but close enough at the same time. To me, this is the dream. It's a beautiful farm in an amazing setting.
Driving into places like this is entertaining for me, to be honest, because normally it's just a straight run in. So when it's like this, it's quite testing, which is good.
It really doesn't take us all that long to get set up and into position, and thankfully the weather gods have been kind to us today, and we're not going to get soaked. Today we have 1 bull and 2 Aberdeen Angus cows to do, and Big Bully is up first. And just look at how keen he is to get in the crush.
Come on. That's it, that's it, that's it. As soon as we get any bull in, we're desperate just to get them done as quickly as possible, so we'll rope up their feet so that they can't kick around or anything. You would be amazed how strong a bull can be. So we are going to check all of his feet, but his front right has got a little problem. But if you come here and look at his back left, I mean, that's pretty much perfect. A little bit of overgrowth here, but that's all.
Bulls like this are incredibly important to the farmer who owns this farm. They are his livelihood. If they can't perform properly, the cows will not get in calf, and he'll have literally no produce to sell. So making sure that their feet are in as good a condition as possible is absolutely crucial for a successful year.
Sometimes the ligaments in bulls' feet are so tight and they're so strong they won't come right up into the cups. It holds them really firm, but sometimes we just have to do it the old-fashioned way, down on the hands and knees. this cracking that is making me worry slightly. This will be delaminated. These cracks can produce a huge amount of pressure on the lamina corium, which is the part that connects the inside of the foot to the outside of the foot. And as you can see, if we zoom in close, it's getting compacted with dirt and muck, and that will be creating pressure on this back foot. Whether he's showing huge signs of lameness or not is a total different kettle of fish. We need to remove this, because if we don't, all that's going to happen is that pressure is going to increase and he's going to end up with an abscess, and then we will have a bull with an extremely sore back right foot. I'm not sure if you can hear the wind today, but it is very, very windy where we are. So this is me thinning out the edges. If I just stopped exactly where we are, those edges would continue to crack and continue to cause that problem. See, this is going to continue all the way through here. So we're going to thin this whole portion out because it's so hard with the grinder, and we're going to put a block on here. He's not lame, but we don't want him to go lame.
This bull was brought in because he's lame on his front right foot, not this back right foot. So if this is the hoof with no problems, I'm not looking forward to seeing the one that has the problem.
I'll say on camera, I think people think I'm talking about arse. But they deliberately, they try to hide lameness. So even when they're so they're only lame when it's excruciating and they can't.
You see them when they get up, they're still stiff.
Aye.
If you get them when
So that's just slipping down. We need this to be over the heel because that's where he's going to land and put most of his weight. We can afford to leave this part empty because he's not really needing this part to stand on. Right, we're going to thin this out with the grinder and then make sure we've got all of that gunk out of there. So we take as little as possible away from his foot, but as much as we need to get rid of these shards of hoof horn that'll capture that dirt. That's not black hoof horn or anything like that that's diseased, it's just muck that's compacted in. No, it's unlikely. He's probably smacked it off something and he'll have bruised inside, and it's just, this doesn't flex. So if it was here and he bruised it, it would burst out the bottom because this does flex. That, well, I wasn't sure if he was in with another bull, but that's the most likely cause.
This is a painfully slow process, but we need to open up this crack completely so that it can't be compacted with dirt and manure. If we leave it exactly like this, we haven't really achieved anything because the dirt is still in there, and any new fresh dirt or manure touching it will just add to that compaction.
I really don't want to go too far here and end up drawing blood. That would be not good. We're getting to really soft tissue now though, so I think we'll stop and coat it with iodine just to seal it all up. Still a wee crack there, but that should sort it out hopefully. So there could be 2 or 3 problems here. This could be an issue definitely. That probably isn't, but here is the most likely cause. See how much higher that is than here, but at the same time that shouldn't be as short as it is, so something has happened there.
When you're dealing with a bull's hoof compared to a cow's hoof, the process is pretty much identical. We're looking to transfer the weight around the hoof to where we want it to be, but it's always in the back of our minds that these bulls are extremely heavy creatures, so one false move and we could end up doing more harm than good.
You got a plastic one please, Kev?
As soon as I started to work on that inner claw, the far away one as we look at it, I could tell that it was hollow from the sound the grinder made, meaning there's a double sole lying underneath what we can see right now, which is why I just asked Kevin for a block.
So we could hear straight away that the inside claw is hollow in some way. I actually don't think it's a huge cavity in there, but it's definitely hollow because you kind of hear, it's really difficult to explain, but you kind of hear a resonance of the hoof horn. So we're putting this block on because we want the bull out of the crush as soon as we can, and this will give it more time to dry as I'm trimming away. Otherwise I would need to trim away and then stand and wait on the block drying. This glue takes about 15 or 20 seconds to start to go, well, to start to stiffen up and harden up, so then you can let go of it and continue your job. There we go. It was definitely hollow. So this is going to be a white line problem as well, and this could have happened at exactly the same time as that back foot, so it's definitely the result of an injury, but obviously we can't say what that injury is. Well, we could, but we'd be making it up. Well, this has happened a while ago. Oh, maybe not quite as long ago as that. About 6 months ago. Just talking to Ian there, saying that this could have happened around 6 months ago because this hoof horn grows at 6 or 7 millimeters a month. So you can look down to here and see how long ago it actually happened, because this problem was up here.
Trimming out this wall horn can be very, very hazardous. It's only around 5 or 6 millimeters thick, and if we go too far, we're straight into the lamina corium, the part that actually attaches the hoof capsule to the inside of this big bull's hoof. Do that, and we've failed our job.
So Ian said that some days this bull is lame and other days he's fine. And what's happening is, one day he's walking around loads because he feels fine, and because of that, the inside of his foot is swelling up, and these cracks and problems are pushing against that inflammation because he's been walking around and hurting. So the next day, he's sitting down on his feet, on his bum, sorry, not his feet. The inflammation is probably going down, so he's feeling fine again. So he gets up and walks around again. And the cycle continues, but hopefully doing this should stop all of that from happening. A wee bit of cracking around this, but not much.
This type of problem in bulls, or even cows, is 100% natural. They're behaving exactly as they would have done hundreds of thousands of years ago when they first originated from mainland Europe. These cracks can be caused by swelling in the hooves caused by bruising, as we talked about earlier, or they could be known as sand cracks.
Stones all stuck in there, look.
Which is basically when the hoof wall excessively dries out and begins to crack, much like a riverbed in the height of summer.
You see, this is the problem. That hole has been a place for stones to get trapped and cause more of an issue than they need to. You see, a bull and a cow has hooves that are designed to deal with stones. They're supposed to walk on them. And dirt and grass and all sorts.
I need to remove these cracks, but I also need to ensure that this bull has enough hoof left to walk on comfortably, so I need to be very picky and precise with what I remove and what I leave. I need to leave as much surface area as possible on the base of this big guy's hoof.
It's similar problems on this foot, but obviously nothing like as extreme on the other one, and these ones are also coming away to nothing. Now we could take this away, but we need to leave as much height as we can around the edge of the hoof, because if we don't, he'll have nothing to walk on, and that really would be an issue.
And with that, this bull is done, and he's obviously had enough because he's decided to sit down in the crush.
Are you good at running?
Just out of shot, Craig is standing in a rather trusting position.
That's just asking for it, isn't it?
Try and get him to walk up around that side of the crush at the road.
Yeah. Bill's not wanting to move. He's nervous, obviously.
Using a stick can look bad sometimes, But really, it's just an extension of our arms. By tapping them with the stick, we gently guide them forward. It's not always obvious to cows where they need to go, and it's our job to direct them. Now that she's in the crush, the problem is fairly obvious.
So our hoof is in there. There's a perfect hoof in there somewhere. And we need to uncover it basically. Unravel it.
These cows, as we showed you earlier, live on natural landscapes, soft moorland, and their feet don't wear as quickly as they would do had they been on concrete. That is what ultimately leads to situations like this, where there is overgrowth, and that overgrowth causes an overloading of that digit, which in turn leads to problems, which is why intervention like this is absolutely essential.
Might have a problem in here.
Overloading or carrying too much weight on one of the digits leads to sole ulceration, basically a fancy word for blistering on the soles of these cows' feet. Avoiding this problem is the main focus of routine cattle hoof trimming, but in cows like this, when they're out in the wild, they usually look after their feet fairly well without any intervention from us. But from time to time, just like this little lady right now, we do need to step in.
These are called sand cracks, and they basically retard the growth of the hoof horn, and that's why it's curling up. If you're ever a child and you got a piece of paper and wrapped it around a pencil and pulled really hard, it would turn into a curl, and that is exactly what's happening here. One side of the hoof horn is tighter than the other because of these cracks, if that makes any sense. If you push this up, you can see the soles of the feet are flat and level, or slightly beveled here actually, but flat and level there. But if we come to the front of the hoof horn, you'll see the growth actually curves up like this because of the retardation. This is bruising. Could have a bit of an ulcer here. Is this cow lame or just uncomfortable?
More uncomfy.
And she's just gone back out the field, isn't she? Yeah.
I need to understand how this ulcer is affecting the cow's life, and I need to understand where she'll be for her recovery, because it'll impact on whether or not I use a block.
I've decided this also. So these cows live a really natural lifestyle out on soft ground, which made me think we maybe wouldn't need a block here because we've removed the problem, i.e. the extra height, but she might still be touching the ground. So we'll put a block on here just to make sure that this does heal. Right, while Kevin does that, we'll do that.
And that is a whole lot of curly overgrowth. Right, let's get to work.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I go.
You would think that you could just go at it hammer and tongs, We know that that hoof is extremely overgrown and we know the capabilities of the grinder, so why not just complete this trim in as little time as possible by taking a huge amount of hoof horn very, very quickly. The grinder does have the capabilities after all. Well, it's not quite that simple, I'm afraid. When a cow's hoof is deformed and overgrown like this, we don't know what the interior anatomy of this hoof looks like, so we need to be exceptionally careful not to go too far. Your eyes are not deceiving you. I have changed to this front left foot without finishing the back right, and that's because Kevin is currently gluing on a block and I'm giving it as much of a chance to cure as possible by trimming these two front feet, which I know don't need all that much work at all, before returning to that problematic back right foot.
To be totally honest, on these front feet, it's more of a check than a trim. She's looking after her feet perfectly well, as she should do when she's in this kind of wild situation. It's just those back ones that we need to sort. It's just exactly the same on this side, and it's those toes would be pushing her toe up and pushing her heel down. So she's just walking on the wrong part of her foot. Yeah. You know yourself, if you walked like how sore your ankles would be.
A hoof trimmer's job does not start and end with trimming cows' feet. It's as much about educating the people who work with these cows about how we can best look after them and why problems are appearing, so that we can do things to stop those problems from ever happening. Neither of these problems have any signs of digital dermatitis, but they are open to the elements, which is why we soak them in iodine to dehydrate that area and protect the new hoof horn growth underneath.
I think I can get more off these front feet, and that's what I want to do so that this trim lasts her as long as possible. Really don't want iodine in my face or my eyes though, to be fair.
And whilst our third and final customer waits patiently, we just take the grinder to this block to make sure the angle of the base is correct and she's not walking awkwardly on it. And that's her, all shoed up and ready to go to the prom. And with that, we're on our third and final customer of this visit. As we can all clearly see, she is slightly overgrown, but she's not showing any signs of lameness. Which doesn't mean that we're not just about to find something lurking underneath that front left foot.
On camera this might not look that big, but there's my hand and it should be about this length, so yeah, needing a bit off.
Little by little, piece by piece, slice by slice, we are slowly discovering that this cow's hoof is looking pretty good underneath all of that overgrowth. This is a massively satisfying job, and when cows' feet start out like this one did and finish up the way this is headed, it really is the peak of satisfaction.
A growth in between her feet, that's why her foot's overgrown. Get rid of that bit. Yep.
And with that, we're on to our last hoof of the day, where we almost immediately find an unexpected problem.
You see, this cow's not lame. It just goes to show you just always have to check all 4 feet, because you never know what's hiding beneath.
This is what's known as a double sole, undermined hoof horn, or a delaminated sole. It's basically when one layer of hoof horn completely detaches from the new one forming below. It can happen for a variety of reasons and you don't always know what the cause was. In this case, it's an old episode of lameness, one that is not affecting her now, but certainly would have if we hadn't removed that overburdening and extra hoof horn. As it is, functionally wise, this hoof is looking pretty good indeed. However, functionality does not always breed beauty. Sometimes we can get caught up in the pursuit of the perfect trim, looking for the perfect hoof, when really all that matters is that the cow leaves this crush feeling more comfortable than she was when she came in. We're going to leave it like that. This looks terrible, I mean it really doesn't look pretty, but functionality is all that matters.
That's it, that's it.
Go.
You just need one to think, right, I'm going. Yeah. I had to park in a slightly awkward position to get in the pickup. People wonder why there are a few bashes in Craig's pickup, i.e. my old one.
Today has been a long and tiring but very good day. All that's left for us to do is try to get out without scratching the pickup, clean up the crush and head on home, which is what we're just about to do.
That brings us to the end of this video for the Hoof GP. Hopefully those two cows and the bulls are much more comfortable than they were around half an hour ago. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do because you get updates on cows and bulls like the ones in these videos. Oh, and by the way, you can actually buy Curse of the Cow by checking out the link at the top of the description below before they've all gone. Cheerio, bye.